Warning, the following is a long list of warnings. If warnings offend you, do not watch this show. Warning, this show contains adult themes. If you are not an adult, do not watch this show. Warning, this show contains a lot of offensive language and may contain graphic content. If you're a Karen, do not watch this show. Warning, this show may contain shabby impersonations of celebrities. If you are a celebrity, represent one, or think this is unfair, do not watch this show. Warning, this show contains what could be seen as controversial and subversive ideas and opinions. If you can't handle differing opinions, do not watch this show. Warning, this show actively shows the consumption of tobacco, cannabis and alcohol. If this offends you, do not watch this show. Warning, this show may discuss topics including, but not limited to, those in the realm of politics and conspiracy theories in a politically incorrect format. If these topics offend you or make you uneasy, please do not watch this show. Warning, the producers of this show will do almost anything for a laugh. If comedy or extreme comedic premises offend you, please do not watch this show. The opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the producers, affiliates, ISPs, streaming platforms, advertisers, partners or alike.
Coming to you from an undisclosed location inside the beautiful land of the Blackfoot Confederacy and Treaty 7 territory, Big Nate Productions presents Getting Laid with Nate.
What is up? How's it going? It's a new week. Happy Friday, everybody. Cheers. It's good to be here. It's good to have something to do. It's good to, provide some content. I see a Big Ugly Jim is in the chat, a Kayaktus Che, our buddy Reno, Steve Reno. On FB. How's it going, everybody? I don't know if Sugar Ray is new, but welcome. We got a good show for you. In a minute, we did a really good interview with my buddy Big Ugly Jim. But I feel like before that, we should check out episode 12 of the Pizza Police. Looking good under the hood.
Pizza Police is not affiliated with any law enforcement agency and only handles pizza-related offenses.
All right, everybody, welcome to Pizza Police once again. We are in Don Johnson's neighborhood. Blew up Farmer Jones back in 1989.
You may remember that from last time.
You may remember last time we were here, Inglewood. We got this big mural going on. I don't know what's going on. There's train tracks and fish and all kinds of world leaders or somebody. I don't know, somebody there. We got pirate hats. We got some guests with us today. We got Pirate and Dexter, and this is the K9 unit's beehive of activity down here. Inglewood, haunted pub across the street. What?
Shout out to Old Beautiful Brewing Company in particular. They are the best.
There you go. Giving some shout outs to everybody. We're here, of course, Without Papers, which is a sister company to
Ow.
Pow. I almost said wow.
Wow, you were going to say wow. Also Without Papers is number 4 on Avenue's list of top pizzerias.
Number 4 is okay. So you know how we do this?
Pirate
Let's get it done.
pirates.
The pirate
Pirates, not pirates. Yeah.
Pirates.
There we go.
You got the right to remain cheesy. Any sauce can and will be used against you
In a court of crust.
There you go, Pizza Police. All right, rating this pie from 1 to 10. We got Dexter gonna help us out on this one. K9 unit. Let's get into it. Let's do what we do. Napkins for days. Look at that. He's got it on a roll. Really floppy crust. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, not a lot of crunch on the crust. There's the chewiness there, and that's really nice too. This is more like a fresh mozzarella, so it comes in the ball.
And the cheese is made in-house daily.
What?
Yeah, that's why we got the K9 unit here, because we need a little assistance every now and then. This is delicious. Like, the amount of sauce here is definitely up to standard for the sauce guy here.
It's good sauce to crust ratio.
And fresh basil on top? Oh my god.
It's good basil.
I think he likes it.
Yeah.
Destroyer of crusts.
I'm going to say 7.
I'm gonna go 7 9.
I have to call that a solid 7-8, my friend.
Without Papers, Don Johnson, Inglewood, come get some. If you don't got some, get some. Thanks to Dexter. Thanks to Pirate. K9 unit. Hey, you guys, get some. Pizza Police.
Adios, folks.
Hey, you guys.
Great mouthfeel.
Divine mouth.
Say hello, Dex. Does he talk?
He doesn't.
Okay.
All right.
Nah.
Don't say anything then. Good boy.
He's just here to eat pizza. High five. There you go, baby. Let's try it again. Dex, high five. Right on, Dex. Dex, double high five. There you go, baby. Pizza Police.
Dog's talented.
Not bad.
Hell yeah. Gotta love that Pizza Police. Good times. How would you know if you didn't know? Check this out. Oh. This thing? It's allegedly a tip jar. I guess. Good to see Amanda. What up? Luha? Luke Hart in the house? Tip jar. Yeah. Make me rich. That's right. See? Jim gets it. Real quick, this episode is brought to you by...
Did you go from turning up amps to turning down thermostats? Did you go from lead singer to Jerry Springer? Have you gone from shredding strings to dreading things? Let everyone know that you're not a poser by purchasing a Dadcore t-shirt made by people who are definitely not posers.
Shout out to my buddy Ted there. Oh. Left the reverb on. I got my board in front of me now. Stuff is going to be so much smoother, folks. You have no idea. I don't know if that really just happened, if I actually got a tip, or if it just does that. Anyways, we will see. Just before I play my episode, or my interview, let's get another Dadcore commercial in.
Did you go from scene kid to senile? Did you go from party all the time to kids in bed at 9? Tired of all your uncles stealing your punk points? Dadcore Industries, in partnership with Mount Olympus, now bring you sick Dadcore t-shirts that definitely have the most punk points.
If punk points is your thing, get one of them shirts. All right. So yeah, I sat down with my buddy Jim Martin. I think these things are going to be terrible, and then I go and I edit them a little bit, and I get to listen to them all, and this was terribly entertaining and fun. So I hope you enjoy it. It went way longer, even edited down. I'm at like 44:53. So yeah, put those punk points in the tip jar. Why not? But I'll see you in about 45 minutes. Hey, everybody. I'm here today with my friend, your friend, my pal, your pal, Jim Martin. How's it going?
It's going good, man. It's good to be here. Good to see your smiling face. I brought sunglasses so I could fit in with your aesthetic.
Oh,
it's going to be good.
Thank you very much, sir. God damn, we look good. Look at us.
We are handsome fellas, for being in our, like early mid 30s. Like,
sure. Yeah. You're referred to sometimes as Big Ugly Jim.
Yes.
Where did that come from?
Do you want the honest story? I was a lot fatter at the time. I'm going to take these off because I feel like I look like a pro wrestler. I was a lot fatter at the time, and a buddy of mine had a gig, and it was, it was a band that I went to see to support my friend. This is long before I became a musician, and these two girls, one of them, he wound up marrying this guy. They saw him talking to me, and they were like, "Who's that big, ugly, scary biker guy?" And he called me over thinking this would be hilarious and was like, "Hey, they want to know who my big, ugly biker friend is." And I was like, "Oh, it's me, Big Ugly Jim."
Right. Okay.
And it just sort of stuck.
Fair enough. What year was that? Ever since. What year was that?
Oh, this is
1979.
Way back in '02, I think. We used to drive around with the chickens as we were.
Cool. So, are you a born and raised Calgarian then?
Almost. I moved here when I was 2 from the great frosty province of Winnipeg. In fact, my first words were "fucking Winnipeg."
Mm. Yeah. Fortunately, it's not the whole province. It's just, is it the capital? I can't remember.
It's the capital of Manitoba. If I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay.
But yeah, it was not my favorite place. It's the best view of Winnipeg is in your rearview mirror.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've bombed that. I've done that drive many a time.
Yeah.
So when did you move out here?
I was 2, so mid 70s. Yeah.
Gangster. Okay, so that's pretty much full-bred Calgarian.
It's as close to without true authenticity as you can get. I'm almost there, but not quite.
Sure. So, well, should we talk about? I met you way back in the Johnny Incognito days. You're the band that you played bass. Did you sing in that as well?
I sang in that, and I didn't play bass. That was, I did play bass at the time, and I don't recall, but I may have like filled in on bass at various points. But no, I was the front man for Johnny Incognito. It was a shitload of fun. No musical talent whatsoever. Just silly, fun songs with silly, fun names and everything really fast. And we were that super professional band where every time we screwed up, I'd go like, "Fuck!" into the microphone, and everyone thought it was super tacky, and I loved it.
Nice. Yeah, it was good times. So what years was Johnny Incognito active?
Oh, Jesus. I think it was like 1997 to 2007, something like that.
Shit. Wow. I didn't realize you guys went that far back. Cool.
Oh, it couldn't have been 97. It's close to that though, because
sure.
you know what, it probably would have been 97, because I remember Sonia was in the band, Ethyl Alcohol, for those that remember. Sonia was in the band, and she'd been, it was probably 2 years before she joined, and we were talking about going out to Swalwell, Alberta, the thriving metropolitan wonderscape of Swalwell, and doing a year 2000 New Year's Eve party. And the whole idea was like, you can watch Calgary burn from a safe distance. But we didn't end up doing it because the town found out.
Oh.
Yeah, they were not into the Johnny Incognito vibe.
Sure. Okay, cool. So Johnny Incognito. So that was that your first band, or were you in bands before that, or?
That was my first real band. So I was in that guy who I have children. I don't know if you can hear that. I have
They're
children.
disobedient too. It's beautiful.
Just a thing for all you people watching. Don't have children. So yeah, no, I the guy who had the woman he married gave me the name Big Ugly Jim. I wound up playing in his band, which was a terrible ballad rock garbage band. But his drummer was his uncle, who is Dongo. So that was the big win there. And then I was in a band that Dongo and I formed after that one split up. It was called The Fabulous Yobs. We played exactly 3 shows. It was, no one knew us. No one should have known us. It was terrible. And then we started Johnny Incognito.
Cool. Right on. Awesome. So what else? And then during the quarantine here, what bands are you in currently? Let's start there.
All right. So I started Amigo Phantasma a couple of years ago with Steve McCormick and Cole Brogdon and Dongo. And then we brought in, I wanted to play trumpet. So we brought in Graham to play bass so that I could play trumpet. And my kiddo, Abby, is on trombone. So it's clearly a deathcore band. And it's super fun. But Steve moved during quarantine. He was presented with the opportunity to be closer to his kids, so he's moved. So now we're readjusting and figuring out what we're going to do. And then I play bass in Dr. James Reddy, which is another ska band. And then I play bass in prog metal or prog rock, depending on your take on it, a band called Bodies of Everest with a bunch of the guys from Painted Glass, and it's super fun.
Yeah, cool. Steve.
Mm-hmm.
No, Steve.
Steve Areno.
Steve
Yep.
Areno. Let's talk about the Unrelenting Yammerings now. What's the deal? What? This is your new show. People need to go watch it. They're all on YouTube, right?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. If I get around to it, I will probably also stream on Twitch and stuff. Where it came from was midway. It was in December, and I was bored because of fucking COVID. And I was like, God, I miss talking to people. And a couple nights before, Che called me, just like messenger video called me out of the blue. And we had this great, not a terribly long, but a great chat. And it was so good to connect with a human being. And I was like, oh, fuck. And the next day I was like, I want to do more of that. And then I thought about it and I was like, why don't I do it so that like I throw it up so that, if people want to watch, they can, have something to pass the time with. Because I really think that like COVID taught us how important it is to have stupid shit to pass time with.
Yes.
And so that's where it came from. And then the more I did it, the more I was like playing with the software and stuff and being like, I can do other things. Mm-hmm. I can talk and it'll be interesting. And I watch a lot of stuff like Thought Slime and that are Philosophy Tube and ContraPoints and all these sort of, terrible leftist things that would clearly, burn the world if they had the opportunity. But they do really good, like, quality content and everything. And I was like, I want to do that. And then I tried and I was like, I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
So I'm working on that, but it's definitely fun. I'm really enjoying doing it. And it's like this whole new bag of tricks I've never like known about. And all of a sudden I'm doing stuff and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm coming up to a year on this show. And fuck, I'll tell you, the first 12 were like just burning fucking, like we were just holding on by the seat of our pants while the plane was going down. And little weird stuff would happen that like now that I have a mastery over this stuff to a certain degree, I'm like, oh, it's because you weren't signed in and you were before. But it was like everything would work. And then you come back and it's like you go to hit go and like nothing's working. It's like, what?
Yep.
Like people are getting mad because we're late, man. You know?
Yeah, your YouTube chat is exploding with people going like, I thought this was getting late with Nate, not waking up early in the morning when he finally gets his shit together.
Yeah. I mean, the first episodes, it was kind of funny to be late, but can't do that all the time.
Yeah, fashionably late only goes so far.
For sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's cool. I've watched a few episodes, and you know, I follow you on Facebook and whatnot too, and yeah, you're definitely. Do you say a philosophizer? That doesn't make any sense. Philosophizer? Philosopher?
You know, I think what I am is a loudmouth. Philosophizer is probably as good a term as any, but I think a philosophizer would be someone who like knows a lot more than I do. I basically lead with my heart in all the things I do, which is super punk rock and not punk rock to admit. But you know, when I got into like watching YouTube videos with political content, I was watching a lot of like the lefty debates where, you know, tankies and other people who are actually people would get together and talk and argue about points and stuff, and the semantics of, you know, well, excuse me, sir, what is your exact definition of syndicate, sir? And the nitpicking and all the things, like, just super not interesting to me. So like that to me is a philosopher.
Sure.
I'm just a loudmouth.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, it's cool to see it in a show and not just on 2D paper, you know. Yeah,
I used to have a blog, you know, once upon a time called Meddling Kids.
Right.
And that was like a super, it's kind of an extension of that. I hadn't done it for like, Meddling Kids has been gone for like a decade, but as soon as I started like writing my own, like scripting out a thing and thinking through, like, I was like, oh my God, this is kind of the same thing, only now it's not, you know, boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it hurt at the time because I was like, you know, I sure hope people are reading these, and I'd look and like, no, they're not. And the reason they're not is because I write these long verbal diarrhea explosions of, you know, gigs of text about why free will is a thing or whatever. And I'm like, in my head, I knew how dumb that was, but in my heart, I knew that I was special and the world would care.
Yeah. It's hard to get viewership, man. Holy fuck.
Oh, yes.
Like, do you even have a suffix for your channel yet?
No.
Because you don't have 100 subscribers on YouTube.
Oh, I only have 53, I believe, as of today.
That was an insanely hard milestone for me to get.
Yep.
Just so it would say youtube.com/gettinlatewithnate instead of dash.
Yeah, I'm currently the big smear of garbage, the, you know, youtube.com/
yeah.
But yeah, like, you know, and it's funny because like when I started doing it like early on, I was like, I saw that little thing on the side of the studio page and it says monetization, and I was like, you know, I'm not driven by money, but I'm curious, like, what does that look like? And I clicked on it. It's like, hey man, you've got like 7 subscribers, only 993 to go, and also 4,000 hours of like consumed content during the year. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, 4,000 hours of watch time.
Yeah, within a year.
Yeah, and 1,000
and
subscribers.
when you've got 1,000 subscribers, that's not an unreasonable thing.
Sure.
But when you're starting out, like, and I'm sure you can feel the same way. Like, you're watching it and you're like, oh, yeah, I'll get there.
Yeah, no,
I don't. All the way up to 8 subscribers.
I mean, I was on like something like, I don't know. It was, I don't want to say anything, but imagine it's like Gibson. And it seemed like they only had like 800 subscribers, you know? It's like, what the fuck?
The only people with like huge subscriber numbers are like the Ben Shapiros and the like the right-wing super media guys that have like 10 million subscribers. And the rest of us are like 18 fucking A.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I hit the last couple of weeks I've had I've had a bunch of videos go out, and I've had a bunch of new subscribers. So I hit 53, and that's not a huge number for anyone, but for me, that is a huge number. And I have one patron.
You have a patron?
I have a patron.
Oh,
I did not
man.
expect it.
Is it Nancy?
No, it's Shithead Dave.
Okay, because I have one patron and it's Nancy.
Oh no, Nancy called and she's like, "It's you or Nate." And go with Nate. No, I set up the Patreon, and it was literally like, I don't know if anyone would. I don't know why people would, because I have like imposter syndrome setting in all the time, where I'm like, no one cares. And then so I set it up, and I was like, okay, I'll mention it. And like literally the day or two afterwards, Shithead Dave from the Shillelaghs became my patron, and I was like, oh my god, my heart grew 3 sizes that day. Like it was a shot in the arm to keep me like feeling like people actually care. Because I'm sure you went through this too, where you're like, hey everyone, like and subscribe, and you get like 1 like and 1 subscription every month or whatever, and you're like, fuck, like people even like, I know they're watching, why don't they care? So little things like that, for those watching at home, if you're wondering if liking or subscribing makes a YouTube person very happy, it really does. It can be the difference between life, well, no, not life and death, but like, happy and sad.
Yeah, and it also really helps with the algorithms.
Oh yeah,
it's like it seems like the more you get, the more it opens up to
Yeah.
I don't know how you are on social media, but a lot of it for me is mostly on Facebook, which is very hilarious and old man like.
Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah.
But if you mention, like I've even seen you do it where you're like the algorithm and that, so I'm just going to say that this thing is happening at this time and the place. Because if you name any of that shit, it's dirt road, see you later.
Oh yeah. And like Facebook's whole game of like, hey man, create a business page to really highlight your company. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I created a page for it, and I share like, hey, I'm going live today. It'll be awesome. And it's like, your post was viewed by 7 people. You might want
3 days later
for money.
3 days later.
Yeah. But if
it was like right away,
$25 in.
And it's funny when I was doing the Metal Fest stuff, like because when I started Calgary Metal Fest, it was 2012, and Facebook was legit then. Yeah. Like you would post stuff and people would see it. It was pretty cool. I feel like it was working like at its height. Like they had worked out a bunch of bugs. It was like 07 when it was like 5 years into this thing. And when, the first year was like, I would post something, everybody would see it, and it was super awesome. And then subsequent years, it was like dropping off and you could see less. And it's like, what? I'm going from all this likes and shares to all this. And so then they have the little advertise. That's when they started doing that. They probably went public around then too and all that shit. But
yeah.
So they're like, pick your slider, like go from 5 cents a day to $14.99 a day. And I'm like, holy. So I called Facebook and I got somebody on the phone. And I said, well, what if I want like old Facebook, like 2012 Facebook? What do I do? And they go, well, you can pay $1,500 at the time and a month, which I think this is 2013 or 14. And you can become a Facebook marketing partner, which basically means, I don't know. I guess she goes, but otherwise, just pick the slider, and that's what it is.
Mm.
And I was blown away by that. I mean,
unless
you have dickhead money, $1,500 a month. Like,
totally.
I was like, my rent is 12.
Yeah, it's so obvious that it was a grift. From the get-go, Facebook built a platform and they built it up to make it something that people would want to use, and then they're like, now we've got you. Yes. It pisses me off. Like I keep thinking I should create a Twitter account. But in the beginning I was like, 63 characters, whatever it was, like as if I could possibly encapsulate all my brilliance in just that, which of course is stupid. And then I, when that kind of went away, I was like, oh, okay, well, that's cool. But every time I see like the worst things on earth, it's always like either Twitter or Reddit.
Yeah.
And so I just have no desire, but I feel like, and it also feels like, if I jump from Facebook to Twitter, because I'm not gonna like do both and like have an active social media life. If I jump from Facebook to Twitter, then A, I'm starting over, and B, Twitter will just get as shitty as Facebook because that's the way the world is. So I need to find some like, perfect utopian social media platform.
Doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Just ask the people at Parler.
Yeah, it's going well over there.
Yeah, things are going good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a Twitter account. I have 2 of them, like one for the show, and like I have tons of followers, and I follow almost nobody, and like it seems like I'm cool there, but I never post on it.
Yeah.
Then all I hear from people is like, dude, don't. Like, it's a hot dumpster fire at the best of days.
Yeah.
I mean, on the worst days, it's nuclear meltdown shithole.
Well, and that's kind of why I'm happy with Facebook, is because I've pruned and cultivated the bonsai of my Facebook friends tree, such that it's a glorious small, like it's not an echo chamber of everyone agrees with me. There's a lot of people that disagree with me, but they're all people that I like and care about, and for the most part, there's a few extras, but they generally don't piss me off. As soon as they piss me off, yoink. But it's a thing that I can interact with and not constantly be pissy. I don't feel like that's a thing you can do with Twitter.
Yeah.
Some stupid thing you say, and then it gets retweeted 860 billion times, and all of a sudden everyone is like, "Whoa, your use of semicolons is suspect, sir." Fucking semicolons.
Well, we should talk about it. I'm wearing my get out of the way.
Yeah, Calgary Beer Corps shirt. Yeah,
there we go. Yeah, represent.
That's the stuff.
Thank you again.
I'm since we're showing off, I'm wearing some Dayglow abortions.
Gangster.
Yeah, OG.
So, explain to everybody what that was. I don't even know what that was.
It still technically is, as far as I know.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Well,
but I mean, clearly we're
not right now. It ain't
right now. And,
where's your next
honestly,
show?
I would want to talk to Mark, because I know Mark's doing a bunch of things right now. I'd want to talk to Mark before I was like, oh yeah, we're still a company. I think we are, but
yeah,
we haven't chatted. Yeah. COVID changes things, but essentially in 2004, I think it was, Mark was like trying to book shows for his band BDFM, and they were running into the wall. Every time they talked to a venue, they'd be like, oh, punk rock music. I understand that's danger bad. So he and a bunch of people were sitting around and came up with the idea of starting a company to like act as a promotion company. And it was originally, the intent was to get BDFM on shows. And then Mark being Mark, like, he has an idea, and it only takes about 8 seconds before he develops it into this, like, I'm going to take over the entire world, and it will be this beautiful, wonderful thing for everybody to live, thrive, and survive. And that's exactly what they did. They just ran with the ball, and a few years in, I was brought in quite unknowingly. I didn't know I was a Beer Corps promoter until one day Mark was like yelling at a venue because someone had put on a Calgary Beer Corps show, and it wasn't a Calgary Beer Corps show. And Mark is like, why is my company name on your posters?
Oh boy.
Did you talk to me? And he grabbed me and Elorps, and he's like, did you talk to Jim? Did you talk to Elorps? Did you talk to me? These are the 3 people who you can talk to if you want to book a fucking show with the Calgary Beer Corps. That's it. And I'm standing there like looking, yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, I can book Calgary Beer Corps shows? Cool. And it just sort of went from there. So, we were, up until COVID, we've been putting on shows, for 15 or 16 years. Time has no meaning now, so I can't keep track of it. But I think this would have been our 16th birthday in August, and then this coming August would be 17. But I almost feel like, the blip from the Marvel comics. I feel like COVID is the blip, and we'll all suddenly appear again, and we can just keep our, we were 15 then, so we're 15 now.
Hopefully.
Yeah, but that's the hope. We actually had like 2 big shows lined up. We were bringing the Dwarves up, and we had the Dayglows, actually. The Dayglows coming to town, and we were super excited about both shows, and they were right when there was the initial shutdown. Those were the dates, kind of thing. Like it was right within the first couple of weeks of the first shutdown. And we were, the whole time we're like, should we cancel it? Like, what do we do? And we held off, and we didn't want to cancel anything because at the same time, like, if nothing happens and we can do the show, that's awesome. Make lots of noise, child. Just keep doing that noise thing, buddy. Not doing anything over here. You just let me know when you're done, okay?
Jim, maybe you should move your studio out of the kitchen.
No, this is my living room. It's this or my bedroom, which you do not want to be in, the basement, which is jam space. And while it would look, cool with all the awesome instruments, it would also look completely like there's cables fucking everywhere. And so this is the best of all worlds.
Nice.
Yeah, at least for now, until I, obviously 3 more patrons and I'll buy a new house. And
right, of course.
Yeah.
In the Hollywood Hills, nonetheless.
Oh, yeah. Just don't tell me anything because that's the way it feels. Yeah.
It's really wild. I have an 8-year-old daughter, and I recently made a rule.
Holy shit.
I was like, listen,
that just blew my mind, dude. Sorry. I just thinking that Dahlia is 8. Like,
I know, it's wild, eh?
Wow. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
And, it's hard. Like, you can't sit there the whole time and watch what they're watching. Like, I can. It drives me crazy. I don't fucking get it. Like, they're all like, we're going to Chuck E. Cheese together, Like, that's kind of what it was. Like, families going to Chuck E. Cheese. It's like, you're, like, locked inside. You can't go anywhere. Just, like, watching this shit. But then, lately, it's gotten weird where I just made the rule. I was like, listen, I don't like your attitude, and you're not allowed to watch anybody over 14 years old anymore.
Yep.
Like, you can't watch 30-year-olds on YouTube all day. Like, I don't give a shit if they're making candy or fucking cupcakes. I don't care. Like, it's not healthy. Like, what is going on here? This makes no sense.
My kids, they were watching, and this was the hardest thing for me to even wrap my head around when my kids were really young. The boys particularly loved watching those gamer streams where they're doing playthroughs of games, and the guy will be talking and be like, oh fuck, oh go kill, oh yeah, got the guy, and I would watch my kids watch someone else play video games and just be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I eventually figured out that, it's just a different thing than what I was used to. And that's cool.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking my kids are watching, and I remember, PewDiePie was one of the names, way back then. And I was like, that's a weird thing for this weird man who is, it's cool that he's making money playing video games, but
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, PewDiePie was a YouTube video game player dude, and there was a big I think he said the N-word or something, and there was a big thing about it, and he was very unrepentant. So things went poorly for him, as
they should.
I'm okay with. Yeah. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Come on, man. Come on.
But yeah, my kids were, and this was long after my kids were watching them, but I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. It's a grown ass man, and it's fine that I get why they're watching. They're not watching because of his uniquely groomy nature or anything like that, but it just feels weird. And then they got into all like the weird shit that, I'm not going to list it all off, but like, the typical kid weird shit that kids get into when they're like 12 watching videos. And I'm like, anytime it was near me, I was just like, what is the world? What is the world? I don't understand this at all. This is terrible. But now they're old and they're back to having good taste in things.
It's funny though, if you think like our parents' generation, this was nothing they had to. They couldn't have trained us to deal with this.
Oh no, we're fucking pioneers.
Like, no, but they were too on shit, on certain.
Oh,
shit,
yeah.
like cocaine.
Cocaine, like King Diamond.
Yeah, King Diamond, sure. Like in our grandparents' generation, I mean, there was cocaine technically in the world.
Yeah,
but
it theoretically existed.
Not
it was in
like
Coca-Cola
in the early 1900s, and then really rich like fucking princes did it and shit like that.
Yeah,
and then in '87, it's like Miami Vice and fucking just ridiculousness. So I feel like drugs. This is like our weird cocaine. It's like the internet cocaine.
Yeah,
that it's like holy shit. Like we have to. I don't know. It's just really odd because I don't want to be. I don't want to be that dad who's like overbearing.
Yeah,
because that doesn't work out.
No,
like
never.
I try to give her space, but at the same time, if I'm walking through and I'm like, "What did she just say?" Like, whoa, man.
And it's a real tightrope, especially right now when everyone is stuck. Right, because it's not like your kids are. You can't just be like, you know what, go outside and play, because go outside and play in the pandemic. That's probably not a good look for a parent. But
well, my single kid does it, but I mean, like she's thrown the frisbee and done the skipping rope, but it's just her by herself. So it's
it is not actually fun to do that when you're all by yourself.
Sure.
No, what I mean by that is. Like there's so many limits on the things that they can actually do, and so you kind of end up looking the other way on some of this stuff. Like your kids will watch stuff that's not inappropriate like NC-17, but inappropriate like, well, this probably isn't the choice I would make in a normal day-to-day situation or whatever. My kids are, the two that live with me are my youngest, and they're 17 and 18. So, I pretty much just give them a can of gasoline and like, go play in the garage, kids. But
the extinguisher's over there.
Oh no, you don't tell them that. That's how they come home, Nate. No, I love my kids. But no, it's
17, 18,
it's understandable to take a little bit of a, kid, you go ahead and watch your weird 30-year-old man making cupcakes.
Yeah, you remember being 17, 18, right? So
oh fuck yeah.
That's
my parents used to be like, hey, here, son, here a gas can, go play in the garage. I survived. No, man, when I was like the worst 17-year-old, not in like a tough kid fighting all the time. Like I'm a big guy and I got a mohawk, and I can understand how people would think that, I was probably a badass. I was a skinny little wuss. I liked gangster rap music way before that was a thing that would make me cool. My parents had to listen to me playing like NWA and Ice-T and all this shit. And I was completely socially devoid, which is hard to imagine because I'm so well put together now. But yeah, my folks, like my sister was this sort of gregarious, very creative person. And I was this super quiet, awkward, skinny kid who made them listen to shitty rap music all the time. So yeah, I look at my kids and I'm like, in a lot of ways, I'm doing all right.
Yeah, I feel that. Like, it's cool the advantages they have nowadays. Anyway, everything's a double-edged sword, right? Like
always. Yeah.
It's awesomer, it's shittier.
I don't think it's either. I think it's just new directions on things that can fuck you over or bring you joy.
Yeah, it's just new what is.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah. There was a time when, James Dean wearing just a t-shirt was like such a tawdry affair. And now, WAP. But it's the same reaction every time, right? It doesn't, it just, whatever that boundary is, the person who leaps past it, everyone goes, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Did you really just compare those two, though? I mean,
I did.
I guess each generation, it's like if it was the same thing times 10 or maybe 100. Like,
oh yeah.
I mean, I remember it's like, Ed Sullivan was all mad that Elvis was shaking his hips. Yeah, and they filmed him from the waist up and all this stuff, and it's like, okay, but like that Grammy performance there, I mean, we're getting towards softcore here. Am I wrong?
Oh, absolutely.
No,
I'm 100%.
Softcore on fucking syndicated TV. Like, holy shit.
But it's not like every other year. The Grammys have been a very like sedate, tied down, very family focused affair, right? They always push the envelope. They always have loads and loads of sex and gratuitous, danger bullshit, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, this is what they do. So when people were like, oh my God, there was a thing and it was like all these women were making out, I was like, oh my God, like that happens. And they're like, it was on TV. And I was like, oh my God, like Sesame Street. And they're like, no, it was the Grammys. I'm like, what the fuck? Get a job.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't expose my daughter to that. So you have, everybody has like, it's past your bedtime, like.
Yeah. And if you were in, the kind of person who's like, I want to show my kid the Grammys this year, then probably you've seen the Grammys before, and probably you would know to say, okay, so let's have a little talk first about how this is going to go, because you're going to see some things. You're not going to understand those things. We'll talk about it.
Yeah. This is a giant experiment.
Yeah. And it's going to go badly no matter what.
Yeah. Awesome.
Totally.
So is there any rhyme or reason to the Unrelenting Yammerings schedule? Do you do them every week?
What I do is I say to myself, I'm going to make content at least once a week. And then I go, ooh, I have an idea. And I start to sort of formulate thoughts around that idea. And then I get really excited and I'm like, I'm going to go live right now. Because I'm like a terrier or something, like, and I can't like process thought long enough to not do that. So that's sort of how I approach it, is I just do things. And so that's, Mark was giving me shit about that. He's like, what's the schedule for your show? Because I want to check it out more, and I see it like sometimes, but I always seem to miss it. And I was like, because there isn't one. It's whenever I'm bored.
Yeah.
That's not a good plan. So I am trying to sort of rein myself in a bit and come up with more of a standard approach to that. But I haven't really figured that out yet. Is there any rhyme or reason?
I do them religiously, on Fridays, and I mean, I don't know. I guess it helps a little bit, but
I think it does.
There's not. I mean, I would say just as you, and there's no way I could stop you from doing this, but just follow your heart like you always have, because it could catch on the way you're doing it too, right? It's that fucking weird out there.
I'm kind of looking at it like there's kind of a best of both worlds approach. And what I'm thinking is, like, I kind of want to take a chunk of probably Saturday or something like that and just say, okay, for these hours on Saturday, I will like live stream every week. And then the videos that I make or the extra things that I do or whatever, now that I have a Patreon, Dave gets to watch all my videos one day in advance if they're like not live.
I like it.
So that's forcing me to like actually, when I make them available on Patreon, then I'm like, I should create an event, or I should like, tell people that it's going to be 8:00 tomorrow that it comes out or whatever. So that's actually, thanks Patreon, you've helped.
Wow. It's the first
and I
time
got that sweet money.
Yeah. Don't spend that all in one place, okay, Jim?
I'm probably gonna on a house.
Okay, so what I'm trying to drag out of you here is how can people check out Unrelenting Yammerings?
Oh, fuck! I am so dense. You were like a girl flirting with me, and I was like, totally, I know what time it is. Yeah, it's 4:17. Right on. You have a good day now. No. The best way to do it is subscribe to my YouTube channel, which unfortunately is youtube.com/bleh. But if you search for Big Ugly Jim, you should be able to find me. I'll send Nate the link to put in the description down below.
Yes.
And yeah, people can check that out. And if you like it, please do subscribe. And if you ring the little notification bell, you'll know whenever I sort of sporadically add things. I also have a Discord server that I use to communicate with my legion of fans, which is not very legion, but you know, I love them and they love me, and it works out well. So yeah, I'll send you both of those links, and you know, feel free to use one or both or neither, or you know, it's up to you. But yeah, that's the way to go. And follow me on Facebook, where all the old men are.
Awesome. I wanted to ask you really quick.
Go ahead.
What's the deal with Discord?
I don't really understand it because
like, is it just a chat, or is it like another place that you can stream to, or what's going on there?
Discord is sort of another place you can stream to, but not really, but kinda. It's sort of like it erupted out of the gamer streaming world. And the reason I got a Discord was because everyone that I follow was like, hey, yeah, come to my Discord and check out my, you know, we have chats and stuff. And a lot of those, like they create Discord communities.
Okay.
And a lot of that is just not interesting to me. And it's not because it's bad. It's just I don't have the kind of time. And the bigger you get, the more you have, like, you know, 3,000 21-year-old kids from Memphis going, let me tell you about how the world is. And, you know, bickering back and forth about politics. And you have to, like, remind people not to be Nazis and things like this, like actual outright Nazis. It just feels like a whole lot of, I don't want to do that. So if the Discord ever got popular, I would probably just pull the plug on it because I don't have that fucking free time. But yeah, it's like primarily chat, but I can do things like, you know, you can use like the virtual webcam in OBS to do stuff, and you can have conversations. A lot of like the YouTube debates will be Discord servers, and they'll have 4 or 5 people that are you know, connected and all have their cameras going, and the Discord is sort of the common place to link it all together.
Oh, so is it oddly like Zoom like that, where you can see everybody's face and then they're chatting?
Yeah. It's like a Zoom. It's got some really cool features. It's got some really annoying features. It was the first time I ever heard of push to talk, which I have never used, but it seems like a thing that could be good, probably.
So
but yeah,
you're just arguing over somebody because you're the host?
Well, essentially, like you can have like a free conversation, but if you're having like a lot of feedback and stuff, you can make the person use push to talk. So anytime they talk, they have to push the button, and then you see them reaching, and you're like, oh, okay, I'll stop talking now, so we don't get feedback. I'm sure there's better reasons for push to talk, but that's the only thing I could come up with.
Interesting. Very cool. All right. Well, hey, thanks for taking the time out here with me this evening.
Absolutely my pleasure, my friend. I miss you. I hope you're well. I hope your family is well. Hi, JL. And I hope that this show will be your number 1 rated ever, because, you know, you have this huge, massive media star on it, me. And yeah, I'm stoked to be a part of it. Thank you.
And I'll tell you more after the call here, but I hope to, if you have the time, if you're available, if you could be in the chat room, you know, yelling at people with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
While we're watching the interview we did, we can instigate in the chat. It'll be fun.
Oh, I'm all for that. I'll just keep typing like, who is this fat, stupid idiot with dumb hair? And people will be like, that's Jim. You leave him alone. He's been through enough.
That'd be funny. You have like a separate laptop that's like troll you. And
Oh
then
my God, that'd be
he
awesome.
assigned
I
it
kinda-
as someone else.
I kind of want to make like a new YouTube account called like Not Big Ugly Jim. I made a Twitch account. I haven't
Big
done anything
Pretty
with it,
Jim.
and I don't know that I will. But Big Ugly Jim was taken, so I'm a Big Ugly Jim.
On which?
Twitch.
On Twitch, a Big Ugly Jim.
A Big Ugly Jim.
A Big
Like
Ugly
one
Jim.
of many.
Yes.
A Big Ugly Jim.
A. All right, hell yeah! Look
right.
up a Bigly, a Bigly, a Big.
That's the name of my old company, like Bigley Soft. When I was my first IT company.
Wow.
True story.
I like how you snuck that fun fact in at the end.
It's all about the little nuggets.
Look out for a Big Ugly Jim on Twitch. Thanks, man.
If I do anything, yes. Thank you. All right.
Peace.
I'm gonna hang up and then we can continue our chat after these fucking plebes are off.
Oof. Yeah, wow, he got that insult in at the end there, eh? Thanks a lot, Jim. Thanks a lot, everybody in the chat. It's been a good episode. Thanks to the Pizza Police. They keep them coming. It's awesome. And I have a special announcement. If you're hungry for more content, I've decided we're going to turn it and burn it here. We're going to land the plane. We're going to vacuum it out. And then we're going to do episode 2 of the Nate team, which is where me and my buddy Rick, who's in the chat, we're going to do a deep dive on season 1, episode 3 of the A-Team called Children of Jonestown or Jamestown. It's a big spoof on Jonestown. So we're going to be watching. It's a Twitch exclusive. Only can watch it on Twitch. So yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here. We're gonna go raid Dickens, and then check back in like 15 minutes on this channel, and I should be going live with episode 2 of the Nate team. So hell yeah, check out these credits. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please tell all your friends. That's the best advertising, is word of mouth. Trying to stay real consistent, getting them out every Friday here. And thanks to Zin for following XOX. I don't know how you say that, but yeah, thanks everybody. We'll see you next week.